the clock that stopped ticking. He thought he had time until the clock stopped. One day a man was sitting alone. In the quiet of his home, he looked around at the walls adorned with pictures of his family, mementos from his travels, trophies from his son's many sporting events, and smiled. He thought, I've really lived a good life. But there was a nagging feeling in the back of his mind, a feeling that something was missing. As he pondered over what it could be, he dismissed it. It'll come to me, he thought. Not now, maybe later. There was this one thing he always wanted to do. He had even put the first step down. Years ago, he started learning a language, but then life got in the way. There were promotions at work, soccer practice for his son, and then his father fell ill. Before he knew it, years had passed. He also had this dream of traveling the world with his wife. They had talked about it when they were young, but now his wife was busy with her own work. Maybe later, he told himself. As he sat there, lost in thought, the old man heard the familiar ticking of the grandfather clock in the corner of the room. It had been there since he was a boy and was now over 100 years old. He smiled as he listened to its steady beat. Time keeps moving, he said to himself, but why do I feel like I'm wasting mine? The man went about his day, working, eating, watching TV, and all the while, the ticking of the clock followed him. When he went to bed that night, he still heard the ticking. Then one morning, the man woke up to silence. The ticking that had been constant his whole life was gone. Confused, he got out of bed and walked into the hallway where the clock stood. He reached out to stop it, but his hand went right through the clock. Startled, he pulled his hand back. Then he pressed it against the glass. It was cold. In a panic, he tried the doorknob. Locked. He tried to scream, but no sound came out. Was he trapped in a snow globe? Had time stopped? He looked around frantically for a way out, but there was none. All he saw was the clock, its hands frozen at 7:07. Then he heard his phone ringing. He ran to it, desperate to call for help. But when he picked up the receiver, there was no dialed tone. The line was dead. Then he noticed the clock on the phone was also frozen. At 7:07, in tears, he called out to his wife. It's stopped. The clock had stopped, but she didn't answer. He called his son, his parents, his friends, but none of them answered. It was as if they were all gone. He stood there in the middle of the silent house, surrounded by the frozen faces of his loved ones, realizing that he was running out of time. So guys, what's the moral of the story? We often take time for granted, assuming that we have an unlimited amount of it. But that's not the case. Clocks do break, people do leave, and dreams do expire if we wait too long. So don't wait for the clock to stop ticking before you make a move. Forgive now, create now, love now, because time won't always knock. Sometimes it walks away quietly, and we don't realize the value of a tick until it's gone. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to hit subscribe. And here's another story I think you'll like.